the reason I'm registered as an independent is because a lot of the rhetoric around immigration or people in that community from the Republican Party and from Trump is particularly concerning to me, especially at the last rally. I know there was one of the speakers there compared Puerto Rico to a trash dump, something like that. One of my best friends, she's from there. I have family and friends who've gone there and have been to this place. They don't get representation in Congress. They still pay taxes, and to see them being treated like this and spoken of like this, it's concerning. Because I don't know what kind of policies are going to be behind that rhetoric. So I'm asking, do you
So
have
how
any
much
thoughts
do you
on
know
that?
about the speaker that said that?
I know that he's a comedian.
Yeah. Does that factor at all into that?
It does, but the fact that he was invited there in the first place and that he said this sort of stuff, it does
Yeah,
concern
I
me.
just think, okay, so let me ask you a question. It's not a hypothetical.
Okay.
Which one should matter more? A comedian making a bad joke, I agree, or a president calling Trump supporters garbage?
I think both are bad.
Which is worse?
I'd say the president.
Okay, I agree. So we totally have agreement. So thank you for that, because I think we've never had in American history a president, even during the Civil War, call this many Americans garbage. It's never happened in history. And he said, only garbage I see are his supporters, and he said that explicitly. Right. Look, I don't know what to tell you other than it was a comedian at an event, but like...
Well, it's not even just him. Even when Trump started his first started his campaign, maybe he mentioned it as misspeaking, but he talked to a lot of Latino people or immigrants who came here as criminals or rapists.
But there are a lot of criminals and rapists coming, though.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
But he never said all. Never.
I get that. The problem is, he says something like that. I've lived out west. Like, I've lived out in Arizona where there are communities who do have undocumented people who work in the agricultural industry. I've had friends who've worked there, and they're good people. They're trying to do more. They're trying to be as upstanding citizens as they can be without being citizens. And again, this rhetoric, it gets passed around, and it worries me for their safety.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bunch of BS. So let me just ask you.
You don't think that has an impact?
No, it's, again, like the rhetoric. I mean, like, first of all, let's just be clear. Do you think it should be illegal to come into America without permission?
No. Oh, wait. Let me rephrase that.
Do you think it should be against the law for someone to come into America without permission?
No. Yes, I do.
Okay. What should the punishment be?
I think it depends on the reason why they came here.
See, I disagree. So let's apply that standard. Do you think it should be illegal to go break into somebody's home?
Yeah.
Do we factor in the reason when we sentence them? Should we?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I disagree. I don't think it's okay to rob a grocery store if you're hungry. I don't think it's okay to rob a bank if you're poor.
Okay.
Do you?
Usually, I do not think it would be okay. But if someone's under extreme circumstances, I can understand why they might make a decision.
Well, hold on a second. People are not coming to America under extreme circumstances.
Really?
What circumstance? That their countries are poor? That's 6 billion of the 7 billion people on this planet. Right?
Yeah.
So that's a right to just walk into somebody else's country?
I'm not saying they should just be able to come here willy-nilly. All right?
But they are, right? And they should be removed and returned to their country of origin, right?
If they can go back there, but that's not always an option.
Well, there's flights every day. Like, you can definitely go back.
I don't mean in terms of transportation. I mean countries like, you bring up what...
Name one country. El Salvador, it's actually safer than America. Venezuela, it's now safer than America. Why? Because they're sending their criminals here. They're opening their prisons and sending the migrants here. That we have a migrant crime wave.
I know people who've come from those countries.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure there's lots of exceptions. Here's the problem, is that you need to put your own citizens first above the citizens of another country, always. And right now, everybody in this audience, they're the first generation since George Washington, have it worse off than their parents. And so I don't care about the rhetoric. I don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest. Instead, I do not have a soft spot for someone that is coming from the third world illegally into our nation when our own generation, these kids here, are the most depressed, suicidal, anxious, poor, and least homeownership generation in history. These kids should come first above foreigners. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And again, I'm precise in my language. I can go through the examples of Trump. I will say this, but Trump has record support amongst the Latino community, has record support amongst the black community, because those that have come legally, which I assume you have, coming from...
I was born here.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Great. So that's a separate topic, but that's unrelated. Which is, your parents came here legally, I meant, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is great, and that's fine. That's the way it should. We have a very big open heart, but you have to come legally. And there's a difference. And I will say, to your parents that came here legally, I want you to think about this. It's an insult to your parents that had to wait in line, fill out the forms, and not commit any crimes, saying that they had to do it the right way, to the 10 million people that were able to break into this country and cut in line and do it the wrong way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
So,
But
please. And by the way, I love that your family's a small business. You know, that people like your family make this country a better place.
We try. But the reason I ask is I talked to my mom. She came from Haiti in the late 70s. She's talked about this stuff. Like, there are people who've come up to our business. We usually don't get any trouble, but we don't usually say, like, hey, we're originally from that country, because we're worried, like, what if somebody's going to come up and say, oh, you're an immigrant? They're going to have trouble with us.
I'm an immigrant, man.
Where are you from?
But I will ask you, though. So let me just, and I think this is important. Generally, have your dealings with white Americans been decent?
Yeah.
Depends?
Depends, yeah.
Really? Would you say that how have white Americans been indecent to you?
To be clear, I'm not saying all that have been, but I know that when we go, depending on where we sell, we often have a much easier time selling in an area where there's
No. That's not what I asked. Just because people don't want to buy your stuff doesn't mean they're being indecent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, has this country been good to you guys? Probably, yeah.
I'd say that.
Okay, good. No, again, we agree. I just, I would reframe your way of thinking as if there's like a boogeyman out to come get you. This is the least racist country ever to exist in the history of the world, ever.
Okay.
And your family's evidence of that. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Okay, who wants to come up?
Well, that's a very interesting one. Listening to Charlie Kirk trying to explain, you understand, these race issues that people tend to accuse President Donald J. Trump. But one thing that we should be happy as Trump supporters, because they have called us names, just like how, you understand, in the video, right? They call us what? Garbage. But then we accept to be back garbage, because at the end of the day, the garbage still win the election. And then therefore, Trump is going to make America what? Great again, and is going to make the world itself, you understand, to enjoy the peace it enjoyed 4 years ago while he was the president. Because while Trump, you understand, was the president, of course, there was peace, you understand, in Europe, there was peace in Middle East. And then that's when we could make reference to the Abraham Accord. All those things, you understand, was not happening. There was no war, you understand, in anywhere, you understand, in the entire world. But now we just thank God that he has returned back, and we believe that very soon we will not be hearing any war between Russia and Ukraine again, and we will not be hearing any war between Israel and any other country, you understand, in the Middle East. On the issue concerning the border, of course, we can't, you understand, allow, you understand, illegal people, you understand, to get to the country. And then if you do so illegally, of course, you should be sending back, you understand, to your country. Just like how Charlie Kirk says that it's not, you understand, right for you to rob, you understand, a grocery store just because, you understand, you are hungry. It does not justify that because you are hungry, then you should go and rob the bank, or because you are poor, then you should go and rob the bank. So it does not still make sense for you to get to the country without following the right processes. This is just, you understand, as simple as that. And then for some people who feels that it's because of their race, that is why people don't want to do business with them, then I think that you should change your business strategy on how you sell or market, you understand, your product, you understand, to people. I don't think that is basically because of, you understand, your race or because of your skin color. But then I think that you should try to be very dynamic, and then look at some of the market forces, and then see which suits, you understand, whatever commodity you want to put down there, you understand, for the people, for them to buy. Though I know that they love to have a lot to say concerning this dialogue that Charlie Kirk had with this very college student, and I also want to see your thought at the comment section. But then I believe that some of you are happy, just like how I am also happy for President Donald J. Trump victory. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, you should like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video. Goodbye.